Hey guys, it's October 16th, 2021. I want to give just a quick overview update over the overall progress of what we're doing. As some of you know better than others, we're going through a series of upheaval upgrades because we reached a point where we just said, doggone it, let's do it. We have all the pieces we need. And over this last month, as you know, we've been coming to really understand how to produce content that objectively can rank, how to score it. And so even the projects we've been doing haven't been built that well. And we're going back through, especially the guys who are splitting commissions with us for the additional cost coming from us now that you got the project going to get those things upgraded for the higher level because, we have a vested interest as well. Having said that, I want to point out where things stand because this is pretty interesting. So if we come and we look at some of these projects, you guys have been asking how close are these things? Like if I go ahead and get a project started, how's it unfolding? How's it looking? I'm just curious, Okay, great. Keep in mind, none of these projects have been optimized to the latest standards of what we know now, which is going to be a huge difference. But I just want to point this out because it's going at the rate we've always gone at. Even with the locksmith projects, I went back now and checked out some of their pages, and they're not anywhere near optimized either, but they're making a ton. All right, by the time we optimize, it's going to be oh so much better, oh so much faster. But let me just give you half a clue so you can understand what it looks like. So for instance, how do we do this? We're lead mining, right? We're trying to capture the leads who are showing interest because organically they themselves are going to Google, Bing, or Yahoo. They are doing some kind of a search. And then based on what they see on the front page results of Google, they're clicking on one of our links, okay? In the case of bots doing that, there is no one to decrypt. So we cannot sell those leads because they're bots, but that's okay. In the beginning, when you create projects, bots come very often because the bots are learning your project for the first time. They're learning how the pages interconnect. They're going from page to page to page to page to page, and so on. But humans start coming too, and you see it. Okay, so as you get used to looking through Stack Hunter lists, you can tell the difference between bots and humans pretty quickly. Anyway, I just want to show you, and I'm going to start with this. Here's one of the projects where it looks like the code wasn't installed correctly. There was a period way back, I guess, where it was and now it isn't. Probably somewhere during the upgrade, we lost the code. Okay, why am I showing you this? Reference level. So here's one of the projects where we see all of the hits are just 4 hits from Israel. I do not know why. Maybe somebody had an interest in looking, or somebody showed an uncle, or what do I know? All I know is this isn't working because the code isn't working. For all I know, there are visitors hitting this thing, and there probably are. But I'm just showing this to you as a baseline because let's move on to another one. Okay, I'm just showing you some of these. These are all very recent projects that we launched just in the last 2 months. We offered it. In the last month or so, we kind of built it up and got it launched, and we've been going back through and making adjustments as we've been improving how we do this. So that's great because Google gets to see the changes. Never put your pages out 100% perfect in the beginning. You lose an opportunity. If you were to put your website out 100% perfect in the beginning and you thought you're going to set and forget it, what's the problem? That Google doesn't know if you're still there on the other side of the website. If a month passes and you don't change anything, doesn't matter if it's perfect. Google thinks maybe no one's answering the phone anymore. Maybe you gave up on the business or you don't care. Or you were overwhelmed by the traffic you got and you just left. Google doesn't really know. So always launch your pages in such a way that you're going to go through and fix something, update something, add something, switch something, adjust something. Once a month or so, go back and change things, right? And that's what we're doing as part of these projects naturally on your behalf. So we're taking care of that for you. All right, now let me just step in. This is Bowen Therapy. Okay, so aside from the hits, you'll occasionally see these. These are you and you, it says. That's me marking myself. I'm in Sammamish, Washington, and also some of the connections are the second city over, Issaquah, Washington. And you'll just see the word you when that happens. So some of those are just me, okay? But they're starting to pick up some hits, okay, that are coming, and there's some days of these going back, okay, but not many. I think it ends right here. All right, so this project is just now barely starting to take off. Stick with me. I'm going to show you where this is going. Don't worry. All right, so if I go to another one, by now I got a filter for the country. I'm starting to filter for the country, okay? Just to make sure that we're only seeing the hits in the US. They're the ones we care about on these projects. These are the leads we mine, right? We're decrypting US people, humans, that's our interest, who come and are looking, okay? This has to do with law, accident lawyers, okay? These guys are from different places. They're coming from different, totally ISPs, sorry, internet service providers, and they are hitting pages and in some cases looking through the pages, but there you go. These are absolutely useful right here. These leads that are coming through, oh, that's me. Okay, skip the me's. The leads that are coming through, to the degree that we can capture who those guys are, right, become sellable leads. Now, the Google proxies probably just the bots that are coming and checking things out. So ignore those. Let's see, when you see the one hit for sure, but, Fidelity Communication International from Atlanta, Texas is probably a person, okay? This is probably a bot. So, there you go. Anyway, let me continue. I want to make this point. And also the one, probably a person because it's coming from Firefox as opposed to something on. All right, let's just keep going. Homeopathy, okay? Take a look at this. South Carolina, there's some proxies. That's me. That's some other people, proxies, people, proxy kind of thing. But it's starting to pick up. Again, this is a lot of bot activity because the project's new, right? But take a look. It's 9 pages of this stuff. Okay, so it's cool. It's on the move. Usually when the bots start to get serious about your pages, they like what they see and they start indexing faster and more to make sure to get all that content up and going. So that's good. Google had time for our project, came back around. That's probably what's going on there. Okay, here's another guy. Actually, this guy said he doesn't think he gets hits on his website. And it's like, oh yeah, the guy's getting hits. He's getting hits for sure. And our big point was exactly that. We wanted to show him that. So again, he's got some pages of this. He hasn't promoted his site at all, so he's not getting a lot of traffic. But the idea that he doesn't get any, that's wrong. Okay, and so again, we can capture these leads. These leads do not need to do anything. They don't need to fill out a form. They don't need to call a phone number. The moment they land on our website, we capture their IP address and we look it up to see if it's a person, a company, or a bot. If it's a company, like if everyone's connecting through a Starbucks IP address, there's no one to look up because when you look it up, it's too many different people connect there. And so there's no degree of certainty about anybody. It gets dismissed. It's obviously a public port with like a Wi-Fi with a bunch of people connecting to it. But if it's a person in particular like this, then 30% chance that we get them. We get 3 out of 10 of them anyway. So yeah. So just whatever it is. Again, the mix, but that's okay. It's just on a roll. All right, what else have we got? I want to point this out. This is kind of interesting. These pages are ranking. They're going to rank anyway. And look, I want to point out 3 projects that have a lot more age to them, right? Like those projects I showed you were in the first month of indexing. So they're down here with next to no traffic. That's how all projects are in the beginning, okay? But the reality check is they pick up speed as they go. Okay, and let me try to make this a little easier to see, right? There you go. So that they do pick up strength as they go. Now, what do you think happened with the drop-off here? Oh, 2020. Heck, you can even see it. It's like January, February, March, and then April, right? Doesn't that look like 2020 to you? This is very human activity. If it was bots, there'd be no change, okay? Because the bots don't care about COVID. They're going to keep doing their thing all over the internet anyway. But this is human. Why do we have this huge outlier on this day? Not exactly sure. It could be that we did that partially ourselves. We, on top of whatever was normal activity, we made a bunch of changes to the pages moving forward. I'm not really sure. But the fact of the matter is, there you go. So this is huge. Look at this. We're talking about monthly hits, of like 13,500 or so, right? So, that's pretty huge. It's approaching 500 a day, right? Something like that, 400 something a day. Okay, that's one project. Let me show you another one. This one grew quick and dropped quick, and I'll tell you why. See this 3Mo GHB? This was all our tier 2 stuff that we did in the old days, where we had the like one var sheet fits all, where you just plugged and play your variables and put it out. So you just sprinkled in your keywords, right? Kind of thing. But the pages made no sense. Visitors would come, look it over, and leave, right? The pages were for backlinking, but they weren't very useful to humans, okay? So this project grew. We kind of made our point, and then we just like quit working on it, and it started to drop off a lot because the pages got buried in the search engines because we didn't keep coming back to them. We're doing more important things. Funny thing is, it's still getting a lot of hits. Anyway, okay, October 2021, we've got 17,000 page views, and it would be neat because it would be fun to run back through all those and rewrite through them for better quality content, okay? Let me show you another one. This is yet another project, right? All these are separate from the locksmith projects. These are not the locksmith projects. Okay, and again, tiny little specs for the first like 3-4 months, okay? Never think this is an overnight game, but also never think that it's useless if you keep pushing it, okay? Again, let me try to get rid of extra stuff to make this easier to see, right? There we go. All right, just on the monthly data itself without being eclipsed by page views or returning visits. All right, so there you go. Up and down, but take a look. Human activity, down for July, or I'm sorry, 2020, April of 2020, and then kind of steadily working its way back up, right? In the meantime, not many hits now, but it's October. It's only halfway through the month, okay? So we'd expect that. That's normal. All right, so anyway, we're talking about almost another 500 hits a month again, 400 hits a day, something like that. Now, if you think about that, if we get like 500 hits a day over here, 400 hits a day over there, mostly humans because bots are pretty much done, or let's say half are human, I don't care. You're talking about, what, 500 humans coming through these pages every day on average? Now, if we're capturing a third of 500 humans, what would that be? I don't know, 1,500 humans? Say we're selling those 1,500 leads every day for an average of what? I don't know, $20? That'd be 30,000 a day. Okay. Does that sound unrealistic? Let me see. 30,000 a day would be 900,000 a month, right? 10 months of that would be 9 million. Oh, that's a tenth of what the locksmiths are doing, as far as we can tell from their stats, right? But their stats are huge. Isn't that crazy? Because they're doing what looks like 90 million a year. But just simple math, when I broke it down, the last example I gave, when you're just looking at their stats and doing some simple math, it's like, yeah, probably 90 million a year. And that's, so this is happening with subpar content, sub-optimized stuff. In other words, we didn't know what we know now. So let me go back because I want to show you through a little more to make this more obvious. Okay. First of all, we went back and started doing audits on the projects that we already put out. Oh man, 167 out of 197 important terms require our attention. We only had a good hit rate of 30. We needed to have like 9 to 15, but we only had 3 in the page. And a bunch of terms like home inspections. This is for home inspections, by the way, when we did a search for that. Man, we didn't even have home inspections in the page. Didn't know that. Now, we just checked one page. Obviously, we have a lot of pages. So this is kind of an average rather than a true reflection of our best pages. But our point is to get our averages up, because by making sure we take care of the project at a high level for the model, then all the pages we produce are going to be in the ballpark. They're going to be all around the 90 to 100% range kind of thing. Maybe 80 to 100%, but who cares at that point? Oh, wow, we got that one. So there you go. What's it telling us? Word count. Get another 100 words into the body, or 100 to 2,800. In other words, we're too short. Tags, words in your H2 to H6 tags, we got that right. That's kind of a big deal. That's why we're having a good float rate already anyway. We should remove a bunch of words from paragraphs. Okay, so we should reconfigure our paragraphs, according to what's going on. We should add more words that are strung or bold, Okay, we can do this, all right? That's not hard. And again, when we do the model and then produce, everything will roll around the rules for the modeling. So some of the pages are better, some are worse, and they use different words and different combinations, but that's all natural. Google loves it. Exact keywords. Put an exact keyword in the title, exact keywords in the body, exact keyword in the H1. I got it. Again, this is true on a bunch of our pages. The page that we grabbed was just an example for the audit. So we're not seeing the best page that we did or anything. You know, if we produce 100 pages and Google ranks one of them at the top and the other 99 support it, that's pretty cool actually. But what if we make our 100 pages better? Maybe we're going to rank at the top for not just one thing, but 3, 5, 8, 12, 24, 48 things, you know, with those 100 pages. Okay. Partial keywords. Do this, do that, do that, you know, and the rest are pretty much okay. All right. Page structure. Do that, that. All this stuff is simple. You know what's hard for companies, by the way, and especially everyone. Okay, this is the part where we can rewrite. This is human level, and it's pretty easy to understand. Add more characters in the title. Consider removing characters from the meta description. Add some more images. Okay. May sound like the hard stuff. I'll tell you what the hard stuff is. These two. How fast the page loads. How fast it starts to load. That's the time to the first byte. That has to do with the server responsiveness. And how fast the page itself loads. We have a massive advantage over most of our industry because this is easy for us to do with millions and millions of pages. And this stuff is easy for us to do now that we have these guidelines, which we never had before, ever. Okay, so everything I'm showing you in terms of how much traffic we can drive projects will skyrocket as we optimize that front end quality and we involve more templates that are totally different into the structure. We have 13 more we're adding to the 6 that we have now. Can you believe that? That's going to be more than triple the variety of templates altogether that each have their own thousands of variations of fonts and color combinations and layouts of this, you know, on the front page. So more and more and more variability with top-ended images, everything minified, everything optimized, everything HTML validated, page speed maximized, all this stuff at the bottom done. And all we need to do is update this stuff, which now we understand way more than we did. So this is huge. Okay, it's very big. The other thing we learned was we got to back off the backlinks to the individual sites, because if you have more than 100 backlinks to a site, it's too many backlinks to one site. Okay, even if it's spread across the pages, so back it off some. Now, it's okay. I mean, the way we worked always did work, but by tightening up the controls, we now that we're doing 100 projects per domain anyway, when we tighten up the controls, we're going to make those backlinks better quality. See, that's huge. All right, so one more point I want to make about this idea. When we're capturing a third of the people that are coming through and putting them through, it could be an easy 1,000, 2,000 a day, easily 1,000 a day per industry in a metro area. Okay, and they're getting sold for like an average of what, $20 each? God, that's 20 grand a day. All right, so let me make this next point. What about a guy like this? Here's a company that actually pays for his clicks, because he just found that if he does this, he gets the majority of the clicks through his site. And he is not web savvy, this guy. Okay, just trust me, he's not. He pays for all of his clicks, right? Thing is, he doesn't understand why the people come and then leave, right? You know, a lot of the people that come, click, look, and go. About 97%. And he has no idea who they are. He doesn't know how to reach out to them with a coupon. He doesn't know how to send them a brochure. He doesn't know how to make them an offer. He doesn't know how to give them a call and say, hey, I hear you're in the market for used commercial equipment. He doesn't know anything about them. He doesn't know what page they were looking at. He doesn't know if they looked at more than one thing. He has really no clue. Okay. He doesn't know if they're young, old, or what. So these are clicks, right? What happened? And so he's only seeing 3% of the people. If you had 100 clicks like this, he only hears from about 3 people. He doesn't hear from the other like 97. What if he could hear from 30 people, or what if he could connect with 30 of those people instead of just 3? What if he could reach out to 30 of them who came and left and feel them out, give them a call, see what they're up for, see if they're interested, see if they found what they were looking for, and just do it guy after guy after guy. You might think, well, isn't that a lot of guys who aren't guaranteed sales? And the point is, of course, in every business, that's true. That's never been not true. Many people will not buy from you anyway. But most companies, they don't know what to do with their time. They got these coming through and they're spending the money and they're just praying to get enough calls to make the ends meet and make profit, right? But what's the reality check? If you could let this guy know who a bunch of these people were, if he could either add them to a newsletter and start offering his catalog to him, offer to bring him back with a coupon, he could email him. Or if he could start calling some of these guys just outright and feel them out. Say, hey, I thought I got a call from this number, or it seems like somebody from here visited our website about some of the stuff that we sell. I mean, figure out the pitch, right? If you think, well, I don't know what to say to somebody who just visited my website but didn't call me first. It's like, yeah, you've been thinking about that for how long? 5 seconds? 8? 10? Put some time into your script and try a couple out, and you will find a way. And you will make a lot more money because you're going to call through a bunch of maybes and no's to hit more yeses. What you'll find is it wasn't just 3 guys who contacted you who are interested in maybe you make a sale. You'll be talking to like 15 guys who are interested, and you'll make 3 sales. It's called tripling your income by just making some calls during the day. Most companies are happy to call through a bunch of maybes and no's to get a few yeses as long as the price is right. So if we're charging this guy 84 cents for each of these paids so that he can talk to 30 out of 100, heck yeah. The equipment he sells is high end, 15K, 20K, 25K, 8K. And so he'll make thousands on a sell. He is so happy to talk to each guy he can if he knows who's interested in buying an $8,000 piece of fitness equipment, commercial level fitness equipment. Get it? So yeah, we ought to add that code into his website. I'll pitch it to him later. He's actually moving from one state to another, so he's not open to it right now. But I did get tracking code in here so I could see where he's at, and it's like, oh my God, and I talked to him. He doesn't know where most of these guys go. It's like, we're going to change his world. Look at that. This is 18 pages worth of data like this. He's been missing it, right? Okay, a couple more things I want to show you real quick. Let me see what's where. We capture all the companies. We even know, like, often first name and last name of who's in charge, but we're not going to use it. We know the company name. We got the phone number of the company. We know what their address is. We know what city and state and zip code they're in. So we can reach out to these phone numbers and tag them and try them like 100 at a time and see who receives it, the text, right? Say you send out 150 bounce. Okay, we'll take them off our list. As a matter of fact, we build it to automatically happen. It automatically gets removed from the list. What can we do? Add another 50. See how many of those stick and how many of those bounce. Maybe 25, but now we're up to 75 numbers that we're constantly contacting with every next lead. How many people do we need to contact in that area for every next lead? Well, it'll be different for each industry. It could be 40 people is all we need. It could be 150. But whatever the number is, it's got to be some basic thing like that. As a matter of fact, I don't ever think it'll ever go over 100. If people are not grabbing leads consistently, we'll just drop them from the list and try some other guys out, right? Anyway, what's the point I want to make? Look at how many guys we have, from these industries. There's 5,400 clients on this one list for Bowen directory, just for Bowen therapy nationwide. We didn't even grab them all. We just grabbed a few metro areas. 5,400. So we're going to reach out to all the Bowen therapists, lead by lead, in Birmingham, Alabama, up to 100 at a time. Okay. And then we'll do the same with Little Rock and the same with whoever else and the same with Phoenix. Look at that. We'll just try out a bunch of these guys. And that way, maybe this guy needs that lead on a Wednesday. He sees the lead come through and he wants it on a Wednesday. He's in Phoenix. Then the next lead we put out, he can't handle that. He's busy with that guy. But this person needed that lead, that next one, right? And wanted it. And then the next lead that goes out, maybe it's that person who gets it. We don't need to care. Maybe it's the same person gets 5 in a row because they've got a large practice and they just moving quick and grabbing them. We don't need to care. Okay. The point is, by offering to all these guys without charging them anything, because it's only 2 cents to send out a lead. My God, someone's going to grab it. So if we send it out to 40 people, it's only 80 cents. If we're selling the lead for $20, then the markup's a massive thing, right? It's huge. So even if the leads go out for $5, just to guarantee all the sales in the beginning or something, we'll find we're underselling the leads by that point. Because remember how much information we can give on every lead, right? It's huge, right? First name, last name, address, email, household income, net worth, whether they're married, presence of children, level of education, high school, some college or college degree. We can give up to all of that, and their age range, their gender, but we can give to up to all of that lead by lead by lead when they pay 84 cents. You know how valuable that is? Not just that, we're telling them what page of their website they landed on, right? So that, or the website they landed on, the page, so that they can go look at the page and see what the person must have been interested in right then and there before giving them a call. So if you have a really clear image of the person you're going to talk to and you know what they were just looking at, huge, right? It's worth 84 cents every single time. It's worth $5 every single time. It's worth $25 most, in most industries every single time. It's certainly worth 20 for that level of information about each person. Okay. That makes that point, right? So we've got this going for all these different industries, lots and lots of industries across the nation. And we're just going to keep adding on, right? We're just going to we're going to lean mine, and we're going to sell those leads to these companies. We're just going to offer it to these companies, and someone's going to say yes, lead by lead by lead. We'll work on our message. We'll work on our list, drop the guys who are disinterested, add more guys, see who's interested, add them in, and just offer, and they're going to grab whatever they want at each different time. This guy will grab one, that guy will grab another, this guy will grab 3 in a row. Then that guy will grab one, whatever, and that guy. And at the same time, all that's happening in Phoenix, we got it happening in every other metro area we're working in. Okay, that makes that point crystal clear, I think, right? That and just to reiterate, to make it really, really clear, every time somebody appears, okay, and they're a human in the U.S., okay, and who knows, that could be, 4,000, 6,000 of these, okay? That's 4,000 or 6,000 leads that are being sold to these companies at $5, $10, $20, 25, $80, $100, $150 each, depending on the industry, depending on the markup. Like leads going to a roofer are going to be, the roofer will spend more money to get that detail. I mean, even the address tells them a lot about the house. You can look up the appropriate size of the roof and how much he should be charging, how much he should be offering, for a bid right then and there. And he'll know what their household income is and everything else right away when he calls. Probably. I mean, up to that level of information lead by lead, but it's crazy amount of information. Absolutely name, address, phone anyway, and then as much extra as we can glean, which is usually a chunk of the rest. Okay? Totally worth it for the dollar by dollar spend. Okay. Now, I'll give you another one. This is an example of leads we did capture. Yes, I doctored the emails because, no, I'm not trying to just put up a list of actual emails. So what I did was I took some of these names, okay, or the names, I cut off a chunk and I pasted them on the bottom, moved it up. So it's all the emails are just shuffled, okay? All the information's real, okay? It's just shuffled. So look, this is for one client only, all right? We're going to start right here. Okay, this is somebody, and by the way, I doctored the page URL because I didn't want to give away the client. So I just changed it, WMS.com, and I put in fake pages, right? Benefits, features, about us, link, whatever, buy now, whatever. Not that buy now. Nobody goes to Google and does a search and clicks on a buy now link for most things, right? They're usually clicking on like features or benefits or something, products or services. But anyway, you get the idea. So I just made it this domain. I just changed the name of the domain. Okay, it was one company with their pages, and I just changed it to this dummy company, right? What I did not doctor was the rest of it. This is what it was. Okay, this is real. So says I. I'll just leave it that way. When it happened is just, leads coming through. Okay. 2021 anyway. Here's a people. Okay. Now, this is for what? This is for a financial manager. Okay. And the financial manager wants to manage their finances. So these are people who are looking into getting their finances managed. Some of these guys probably have some money they need managed. Other guys have a lot of money they need managed, right? It's nice to know things like the household income and the net worth of the person before contacting them, isn't it? So that the conversation can be at the right level to begin, okay? So having said that, think about the value of that. How many leads are here anyway? 241. So what if you had 240 of these leads in your newsletter and you were contacting them on a consistent schedule to bring them into your fold, get them to schedule a call with you or give you a call or whatever? And that's separate from the information for these guys who may have landed on your phone if you wanted that yourself, right? The deal is you're getting your leads. They land on your phone or your salesperson's phone. And that person's going to call each of these guys back and either talk to them live or leave a voicemail. And then probably follow it up in a day or two with an email. Makes sense? That's the way business is done. That's the way it should be done. And that's the way you're going to maximize your income. So yeah, we make that available. And that can be for you. Or if you don't want to do it, what do? Sell the leads through the industry in those areas, those metro areas where the guys are coming through, so that other companies who do want those leads can buy them. Either way, it's a massively valuable project, right? Now, these are leads we did capture, in fact. Okay, so just letting you know, this isn't a locksmith project at all. This is a recent client. Okay, let me give you another one. Or I'll give you two more ways of seeing this, and then I'm done with this recording. One guy, okay, I'll just start here. It makes more sense. Look at this. Plan contacts. All right. That's how many contacts. 315. He's got 27 more for the month at the level he's paying. Collected this period 288 in this month. Okay. So he's gotten over 3,000 contacts so far. Hasn't gotten any today, but that's not surprising because today's Saturday and this guy only gets hits during the weekdays typically. Okay. And few on Friday, right? It tends to be that kind of way. But look, the average is 78 for 7 days, so it's more than 10 per day. Okay, 10 per day. So if we were selling him the leads at $20 each, 10 per day, it'd be $200 a day coming from this guy. Okay, if he could handle that, if he wanted to handle that. If one guy cannot handle all that, what do? Offer two more guys in parallel, right? So that across the group of them, all of those leads can be handled on a daily basis, right? So we make sure we always earn from it. But check that out. So 309 in the past 30 days, okay? 3,070 together that this guy got. These are all decrypted leads. These are leads who came, landed on the website, left, and never said hello. Maybe a few of them did say hello, but like 3% of them. The other 97%, the guy would have never, ever been able to reach out to again, except that we made that possible. So where's that go? Well, he's got it in the MailChimp account we made for him with this audience, and that account has got 3,060 in there right now. Because why? Over the course of time, 10 people quit. And he added about 78 this week. 2.5% increase, 78 this week. 78 this week. So just letting you know, this is incredibly real and the upswing potential is unbelievable. The fact that we can do this industry by industry, metro area by metro area is huge. And the idea that you can get your hands into this and get this thing going, the best way to do it, 15K so we can build it for you. And then if you want, split the commissions with us half and half. And that gives us extra budget room where beyond your 15K as we build, because you know us, all you guys who've been with us for a while, you know how it is. We keep learning, improving, changing, learning, improving, changing, learning, improving, changing, improving. Go bigger, go better, go stronger, go whatever it is. So like, and when Google throws big balls at us, like Web Core Vitals came out, Core Web Vitals, CWV, we hopped to and caught up with that, right? Well, we can't just go through all the projects from the past and update them. It's too expensive. To rewrite contents for them all, to recreate the new programming for all the websites, right? We can fix things, update things, change things, but if we're going to make fundamental big changes, right, then how do you get us on retainer that way? Well, that's where we're splitting the commissions. Okay. So if you do that, what that does is suddenly we have a hugely vested interest because there's more money that we can make out of it beyond the 15K to launch it and follow the rules and build it up and make it strong. The fact is, if we have more income coming off of that thing, we can double, triple, quadruple down because there's going to be money coming off of that to pay us for it. It's like you're paying us, but you're not. It's the customers paying us, right? The companies. So they're paying you, they're paying us. So if you're thinking about what that means, it means instead of you getting 100% of a small pie, you're getting 50% of what will become a tremendously larger pie that you did not have to keep paying into. We'll decide if we need more content, more pages, more images, more structure, longer pages, deeper stuff, extra snippets, tack this on, tack that on, because you're doing it by doing the half and half on the commissions with us. So we can just go haywire continuing to build on your project. Otherwise, we'll build it for you. We'll build it right. We'll build all the pieces in. We'll make it as strong as possible and keep it updated within that version number, right? Within that version of what the project is. And it's huge, right? And I'm going to point this out again. Just the idea that this has always been true, even before we optimized anything, and these leads that we're capturing has always been true, even before we optimized anything. Get these leads in the newsletter, reach out to them, and you're pretty much able to retire if you're selling something that's high ticket or recurring, okay? And you get a few of these every so often, you just keep pushing it, right? Some guys will ask me, why don't I do a project like this for myself? The answer is, I'm not a digital asset manager. I'm not a financial advisor. I am not a dentist. I'm not a plumber. I can't handle the jobs. I wouldn't buy the leads, okay? That's the idea there. So the reason we're setting these projects up right now is we're at this level where we keep developing upon it and paying into it. You guys are paying for projects. Sooner or later, it's going to probably tip over where we just say, okay, guys, those of you who are in, you locked yourself into your projects is great. Those of you that waited too long, we don't really have a need to offer these projects anymore. We're not going to offer anymore. We're going to do the rest ourselves. So the guys who are lucky enough, sensible enough to get in and get these things going while it's still being offered, because it's launching at this level, do it. Okay, don't miss, because once we finally get there, you can bet projects like this don't go for a mere 15K anyway to build. We got a group here in the Puget Sound area doing real estate who's thinking about a $300,000 project because they want to do multiple industries and connect them together and maximize the lead flow across the whole thing. They're thinking Q1 next year, but hey, in the meantime, we make things so much stronger than even we discussed with them. I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll have to raise the price to 500K. But again, we still need other people to buy these. We need somebody to be vested in getting this stuff, right? So it's pretty interesting. All this is happening in real time. You can still get into it. We've been grassroots for 14, 15 years. So we're still making that offer to all you guys who are out there who want to be part of it. All right. And you can get in with one or more industries. If you got any questions about it, give me a call. If you know what you want, give me a call. If you want to make payments up front, give me a call. Okay. There's my phone. And I'll put my Skype. And I'm in Seattle, as you know. So just keep that in mind with the time zone. I'm on Pacific time zone. But otherwise, give me a call about your project or your idea. You don't have to own a business. You don't have to do anything in particular at all to sell leads all day long to any industry. You want to sell leads to solar panel installers? We can do that. You want to sell leads to roofers? We can do that. Who do you want to sell leads to? You want to sell leads to, you could say MLM companies, but is that going to be a good fit for texting leads to them? Usually it's best for texting leads. So do you want to do like tow trucks, or whoever else it is that takes leads by text? It's garage door repair, except I wouldn't recommend garage door repair right now because it's one of the bigger industries that our dispatch center was into. Although that day will come, we'll be able to outcompete them easily. We can build, remote control, and do better than anything they ever got from us all those years ago. But it doesn't make sense to start with that because you just have a huge group to compete with. Talk to me. We'll figure out what you should go for. We'll figure out where the low-hanging fruit is and make sure that the graphs that we set up do this kind of thing for you. Okay? And somebody said, is there a guarantee that this thing will work over at least the long run as we unfold it? What happens if I pick a metro area and an industry, say, Chicago plumbers, and it fails? The answer is we're doing so many other projects for same and different industries in other metro areas that we can see where to either put you elsewise or just expand your territory to make sure you get there. So we could, instead of just Chicago plumbers, we could make it Atlanta plumbers because we find that works. We could make it Chicago roofers instead of Chicago plumbers. So we could change the geography or the industry or both. And not just that, but the other option is, say Chicago plumbers is great, but it's too limiting somehow. And I don't know why it would be. It's one of the biggest metro areas there is. But if that were true, then what would we do? We'd expand the region outward surrounding Chicago, for example. Or what could we do? Add another region like Atlanta, right? To make sure that this happens. So does that make sense? This is like too big to fail. So as we dial and play with it, we have it under such incredible control. And at the same time, we're hitting every objective, great, measurable there is. The quality of the web pages themselves, the strength and speed of the servers for delivering the web pages. So minifying everything, optimizing everything, validating everything, using second-gen images, Core Web Vitals, all the stuff Google wants to see. Latest coding setup, Ajax, everything that should be happening with the websites and the images and the contents and refreshing and updating and upgrading and objectively measuring how long the content should be and how many headers there should be and so on. We're doing this at a level we've never done, but we're doing it all at once and with more templates and more pages than ever. So it's too big to fail, especially with all these different projects happening in parallel. We think it's too big to fail. And we've already had great luck getting tons of traffic. That's not the problem. We're just steering the traffic in such a way as to sell those leads, because mining the leads and selling them to the relevant companies, we think is the absolute best way to go to make a lot of money. So if you think the same thing, then you're going to want to get into this project. By the way, the idea is not new. People selling leads that are texted to phones is not new. That's been around for years, and we just haven't done it. Now we're doing it. All right. Hope you find it interesting. All of it's hands off. It's totally automated. As each lead hits, the capturing of the IP is automatic. Looking up who it is automatic. Getting the details is automatic. Texting all the guys in the area is automatic. And as the guys claim those leads and need to pay more, that's automatic. Paying again is automatic from the companies. So this whole thing, from an outside point of view looking in, is set and forget and doesn't require anything out of you except funding it to make it real. Okay? And for us, it's so easy to control that we have all the room in the world to do it. All right. Hope you find it interesting. Take care.